पता नहीं।
Namaskar. I'm Kumar Akis and you're watching Global Governance News. Today we're going to discuss UN Sustainable Development Goal (SDG). There are 17 subjects in SDG for the development. So subject is our subject going to discuss reality or only slogan. The launch on 2015 uh, and by the adoption of the all countries and the resolution passed. Before that, we know there was a MDG that was the age of 15 years. This is also for the 15 years. As United Nations adopted this policy, they whole world, 193 countries adopted the resolution, will complete these goals next 15 years. I think already 6 years done. And so I'm going to read why I just today the subject. I'll also tell you. Just there is 17 goals. This is goal is no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and the clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and the communities, the responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, just for the all animals are living in the water, just to maintain the life, a life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnership for the goals. Out of the 17 goals, today our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has just focused, we can see the all SDGs, include the infrastructure, partnership goals, and all things in the one scheme that is called Gan Shakti. That is called the Gan Shakti Yojana, Prime Minister Gan Shakti Yojana. So, with this Yojana, 100 lakhs crore infrastructure and development, and all development has to connect with this policy, and they have to complete the fixed time frame. No any hanky panky will be accepted. Focus on the development and on the due date. And we have seen, not in India, in different parts of the country, if we project started in the said year, if we started program in 2000, and focus was this will complete within 3 years, but till 15 years and 20 years not completed. So that increase their cost, all just linger on the all policies and all things. So today we'll discuss on just connect with the SDG, how the reality and slogan, with reference to India and other country also, how they are going to maintain the development goals for the development of humanity. So I started from Anita ji. How just I just trying to connect the PM Gati Shakti Yojana. I am just giving a brief about the what PM has said on this Gati Shakti Yojana. Very typical, I think, and very pointed as he spoke always at the launch, the Gati Shakti Yojana launch multi modal master plan, unique in the, I think, India and unique in the world also. The landmark event making a milestone for the infrastructure landscape for India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday launched the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan for multi-modal connectivity to economic zones in the country. The plan is an important part of the PM Modi's Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-dependent India vision, and ambitiously aims to lend more power and speed to project under the 1.5 trillion national infrastructure pipeline and push the goal of
कल
achieving
सुबह
the
आएंगे
$5 trillion economy, especially
थोड़ी
in the
देर
wake of the recent economic impact of the
10 मिनट बैठ के
coronavirus diseases. So we can understand the how they have the already announced the scheme, and as well as also Twitter also uh, it took place today. And in this the Gati Shakti, there are so many points. What was done in 27 years, we are doing the less than half in time. and their goal is there, and how the example, if commissioned in 1987 till 2014, not program done. Why and what's for? Everyone should be responsible. So 6 pillars of PM Gan Shakti National Master Plan related to SDG: comprehensiveness, prioritization, optimization, synchronization, analytical, dynamic. On this point, all projects should be completed. And as I just told you, the 17th subject in the for the Sustainable Development Goal are related to the, I'll take the America. I welcome Vandana Jinganji from Chicago, America, senior journalist from there, and Rakesh Tiwari ji, is the senior journalist from the Toronto, Canada, also interested in the Indian programs, and Anita Chaudhary ji from India, a senior journalist and keeping an eye on the current affairs of the country and the world. So I started the Anita ji, just to have the limited time, just 30 35 minutes program. So we'll take. So how you connect the PM statement today, PM of India statement to SDG?
Are you able to listen?
Yeah, yeah,
Listen me. If the
yeah, yeah.
voice is clear now, because some Navratri program is going on
No
in
problem.
my
No, no.
society,
We are
so maybe some kind of hurdle you will get.
very
Not
great
only
session.
Shakti Pariyojana, Rakesh ji, not
Yeah,
only Shakti Pariyojana. There are 17 points which which are included in SDG programs, that is also known as the Agenda 2030, because the goal is that by 2030 we will achieve this goal, and this is the global goal. This will be the global goal. But if I will talk about not only Shakti Pariyojana, Shakti Mission Shakti is not only achievement. Yes,
Gati
it is
Shakti.
one of the, it is one of the achievement, because it also comes under that 17 goals, that is the energy. But if we will talk about the Sashakt Bharat, Sabal Bharat, we will go through the data, and India has submitted this review to UN also. Shashakt Bharat, Sabal Bharat, empowered and resilient India. And we will talk about that. We have uplifted more than 271 million people out of multinational poverty through economic growth. This is the achievement of India. We have done it. It has started in 2015, and if we will go through the data of 2020, this is the great achievement has done by the India. Second, that hygiene comes under this 17 goals also. And if we will talk about the Swachh Bharat mission,
Yeah.
wonderful achievement done by the government of India. Modi government has driven this mission, and the kind of revolution it has created, village to village and
Yeah.
person to person. We can see, if you will roam around the other part of the India, the remote India, you will get how the people are aware about this hygiene, especially in this Corona period. Everyone knows what is the definition of hygiene, what is the meaning of hygiene, and why we need this hygiene conscious life. So this is the achievement of government of India, which we have done very successfully. We will go through the data. Ayushman Bharat, the world's largest health protection scheme, which has provided by the government of India an annual cover of USD 7,000 to 100 million families, covering nearly 500 million individuals. This is the achievement of government of India. In COVID, we have done a wonderful job that the UN and the world has also appreciated it. The WHO has given remark as the we are the landmark and we are the role model in this COVID pandemic.
Okay.
And if we
Okay.
will go through the Samagra Bharat, Saksham Bharat, inclusive and entrepreneurial India, social inclusion is pursued through unversatizing access to nutrition, health, education, social protection, and developing capabilities for entrepreneurship and employment, financial inclusion through Dhan, Jan Dhan Aadhaar mobile Yojana. You know about it, that what is the Jan Dhan, and
Okay.
the
Actually,
kind of
yes.
revolution government of India has done in MSME sector, that is the micro, small, medium scale industries. The definition has changed totally. The revenue has changed, and during this pandemic, maybe we are saying that the world is suffering through the economic degrowth and the kind of recession, but through MSME, India has done quite well, and we are in very good position as compared to other part of the world. There are also Satat Bharat, that is Sanatan Bharat Sustainable India. India's climate action strategically call for clean and efficient energy system, disasters infrastructure and planned restoration, acting on its nationally determined contribution. India has electrified 100% of its villages. We are now 100% electricity we are providing to village and person to person. This is the achievement of India, which India has done very
Okay,
successfully,
okay,
and
okay.
other parts also, Samapan Bharat, Samriddh Bharat, and other
Okay.
pariyojnas are also including that. But yes, we can say that the global goal has designed by the UN and other part of the world, and India was also the one of the part of this goal, and India is doing successfully. That's why our Prime Minister Modi has also mentioned today also in Shakti Mission Shakti, that
Yeah.
what kind of achievement India has done to encourage the
SDG,
people who are working continuously for Indian development to achieve this goal. Thank you.
Okay. Vandana ji, the American, just leaving American leadership also and focused on the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, and the local action for the global solutions. So, since the launch of the SDGs 2015, US communities have made this global framework as a local agenda, from students to CEO and city halls to state capitals. Local leaders across sectors are embracing the SDGs and leading innovative efforts to build the sustainable societies. The SDG after a foundation for the better responding to and recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic and the building an inclusive, resilient future where no one is left behind. So, just so many subjects, how the women bringing the SDGs to life in New York City, innovative ways so American universities are driving progress on the SDGs, using data for the good, how I live using the SDGs. There is so many things has been doing. How do you analyze just living in Chicago to seeing the SDG and in the other parts of America?
Namaskar. And as we are celebrating Ashtami today, so
Yeah,
sabko bahut bahut badhai.
Dhanwad ji.
And Durga, and Anita ji was mentioning Shakti. I mean, like, what else you could
Gati
ask for
Shakti.
it?
Ha,
Yeah,
ji. That's
yeah.
why our PM mentioned today. Today's Ashtami and the Shakti Rupa is there. So Shakti will give the Gati to the all the pending programs. That is called the PM Gati Shakti Yojana.
So when we're talking about the goals, and the title is pretty attractive. 2015 to 2021, 7 years, as before even we were about to start the program. We can make projects, we can have things on a paper, but things have to move on.
Yeah.
That is what it is, because they sound very attractive. I was just reading that peace, justice, and strong institution. That is number 16.
Yeah.
Oh, that is going so very fantastic. 7 years after we were so peaceful before, we are moving towards more peace. And what will happen till 30, we all are seeing it forcing. So we do have one institution here that is a non-for-profit organization. It is called ThoughtWorks. This is based out of New York and Chicago. So they did had a meeting yesterday, so where it is needed a coalition. So when we're talking about coalition for US coalition on sustainability, today they announced the expansion of Sustain Chain, a digital platform to unify, accelerate progress towards the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. So USCS developed Sustain Chain to connect innovators, impact investors, businesses, NGOs, and alliances with a shared mission to rebuild sustainable supply chains. How far it will go, and that has to be involving, as we know, cutting edge technology, which is where you can't do things without the technology. So, sustain chain platform to unify cross industry efforts, knowledge, and actionable insight across the public and private sectors under one ecosystem. So, this is when we are talking about they had a meeting yesterday and they came out with this. But there has to be a will that everybody has to come. And then there is one thing which is called introspection. We should see that we just designed these goals where we are. So we do have to work, means in extra speed to actually, even if we achieve 50% of it, there is a good achievement. Thank you very much.
Actually, the 60% achievements, Rakesh Tiwari ji, living in Canada, just neighbor of the USA. I think how the development is going on, how just to connect it to the SDG. SDG is just the all subjects included for the development, as well. Just you see the political instability in your country.
In Canada, you're talking about?
Yeah,
Well, Canada is a developed country, and it is maintaining all those things, most of the things what is mentioned in SDG, definitely. But because the reference what you are mentioning, and that comes, and that's more focused on Bharat and Hindustan. Okay, so some of those achievements, of course, where Prime Minister Modi he is taking over there, and all, I mean, most of NRIs who are living across Bharat, across whole world. So they are, they definitely praise that. We are able to see some of those things that Swachh Bharat, Abhiyan, and how Pradhan Mantri has taken it. And he has mentioned just now, I was just reading that Gati Shakti Yojana, he said that because of someone where the coordination, lack of coordination is one of the biggest issues. So he's touching all over the places wherever is possible, and he's taking it. Not only that, I will say that UNO is also praising Bharat for one this particular reason, that where Bharat is taking place is great. Absolutely great. Means there's nothing wrong about it, and I'm so glad that you brought this subject today, and we are discussing it. These are the focal point even for other media should be, that what is happening. Although I do reserve this point that United Nations, all this, they mention is like, so it's a nice thing. Okay, whoever is doing practically is great. Definitely Bharat has taken all the positives from it and doing it is absolutely great. But United Nations, I do not have much respect to the way they have handled so far so good. Let's say a very upfront, they don't have any governing authority. I was just reading it. One thing has pained me definitely, that as you know that this is the United Nations guideline. It is available in all 7 languages. Okay, and then you can search it, but not in Hindi for sure. That need to be worked on. That's a different issue altogether. But coming up to this, Pradhan Mantri Modi has started a reform, is doing great. Okay, at the same time, I will say some of those reforms and are absolutely necessary, which is kind of giving a clot to Bharat's name in world, and that is, I will say, the judiciary and the police system, which has to be corrected, or I will say should be reform should come. Okay, then only those 2 points which I see that, and when those two are corrected, the corruption and other issues will be corrected as well, because the human right issue and other issue comes under that. So other than that, is what can we say? We have a, I will say, we are so fortunate to have Prime Minister Modi as a prime minister, at this junction in time, and that's a blessing
No,
for us.
Rakesh Tiwari, I also asked question about the Canada, but you just focused
As I
on the
said,
PM
Canada is
Modi.
developed country. What do you want me to ask? I
No, no,
answer
sir.
that.
No,
Everything
no,
is
no,
there.
sir. No, this resolution was for the all 193 countries. That's
Yes.
why I read about the US and India also. That's why I asked you. Developed is different, developing, but this is the goals for the all 193 countries who are member of United Nations. But I'll just take a break and I'll come to you again. Then now we'll discuss on that later on.
Okay.
As we're going to discuss now, just the SDGs. This is for the all countries who are the member of United Nations. As Rakesh Tiwari is discussing, just to relate it to the India also. That's I giving an example how today, on the very day of the Gati Shakti Yojana launch, just connected and related to SDGs. So I quoted an example. So that I asked you how the Canada is going on in spite of the political instability, development is affected or not.
What do you mean by political instability in Canada? I'm sorry, I'm missing something
So,
here.
sir, missing. I am asking you within
No, but why
four
did you
years,
say that Canada has the political instability?
sir. Within 2 years, just
No, no,
the
no.
term of the
Excuse me.
4 years,
Excuse me.
and within
Okay.
2 years, election held.
Oh,
That's
so
why I'm
what?
asking you.
So what? Every country, Italy is having like almost every second year. So what happens? So the
Sir,
midterm. See, no, 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 no.
I'm
Midterm.
asking.
Listen to me, please, please, please.
Yeah,
Let me
sir.
continue. Let me counter you. Midterm election happening anywhere in the world in the democratic setup, there is a system towards it. If there is no clear mandate, okay, and
Do,
every
you
party is
don't think
looking
this is
for
the
it.
political instability?
No, that's not political instability. No, I'm sorry. Not. No,
Okay.
that's my
But
take on
but
it.
but but do you have any chart the how the SDGs has done in the Canada? Okay.
Oh, that's what you want. Okay, well, that I can provide it to you. That I can provide
Okay.
it to you. Meantime, okay,
Anita
that
ji, Anita ji,
I'll provide
I'll
it to
come
you.
to you. I'll come to you again, sir. Anita ji,
Sure, sure. Go
how
ahead.
just SDG is going to be the how just to narrate one by one program to the SDGs of the goal, United Nations goal, only focus to the development. Do you think that there
Sir,
is what happened? There is some voice problem. Okay.
yes, please.
Oh, I can understand that some voice is coming from the outside. So,
Uh,
Anita ji, my question is how SDGs goals, 17 goals, more for the development. You just narrated one by one with reference to India. Now, you don't think the political stability or instability affected the development of any country, either in India, Canada, any country? My question is this.
political, look, the policies run by the government, not by the politician. And maybe the representative are from some political parties, but when they enter in government works, they do what a government should do. Either it's Canada or India. I will not go through that what Canada is doing and what India is doing. If I will talk about the India, India has done a successful and very wonderful job in these SDG goals. But yes, this is the responsibility. The goal's name, another name is global goal and Agenda 2030 for world. So the whole world should come on same platform to achieve this goal. This was the idea which that's why this agenda has structured. But what
And
I
adopted
feel
also. And
and
adopted
uh,
also. Yeah.
yes, Canada, of course, has to contribute, has to initiate, and has to achieve for the world and to the country. But what I am feeling that whenever it comes to the environment issue, the blame goes to the Asian zone. Whenever it comes to the hygiene issue, the the blame goes to the India and other rest of the world. That is the naturally Asian zone. Whenever it comes to the poverty, by I am accepting that country like South Africa and many part of the Sudan and all that, and many part of some part of the India also, there is some kind of poverty is there, existing there. But what is the responsibility of the world? Why the world is escaping from this ideology and if they are keeping distance from these kind of issues? So what is the meaning of this goal? What is the meaning of this? Why like when it was a UPA government, all the policies was on paper. This is happening in UN.
Yeah.
UN is making all the policies, but only on paper. And the responsibility is only to Asian countries. They have to achieve. They have to contribute. The Western countries, they will not compromise with their AC culture. They will not compromise with their lavish life. They will not compromise with any kind of their
So,
comfort.
Anitaji,
They will not
what?
compromise. They will not even donate or share their economic growth with other part of the world to the
No,
global
no.
world for the growth of the global world.
This is not
But
fair.
they only do comments. So this is the problem. This is the problem. हर चीज को अचीव करना, दिस इज नॉट द ओनली ऑफ द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ इंडिया. This is the responsibility of Canada also, America also, and other part of the world also.
Okay, ठीक है. Vandana ji, my question was just I'm coming to Rakesh Tiwari ji. You don't think the political instability always affect the development? If any government in any country not stabilized by the political leaders and political concurrent ways, and as just recently Canada has faced just the two election in 4 years. So this is not called the political stability. This is political instability. So that's why I'm asking you. You don't think the political stability affect the development, one, and number two, how USA has just achieved the goals within 7 years? In which part just you think, just you realize, and just you have reported?
As Tiwari did mention, there are the 17 goals because everybody needs something out of it.
Yeah,
No matter
yeah,
even if you are a developed nation or a
yeah.
developing nations,
You
the
are right.
needs,
You are
like,
right.
you know,
Yeah,
so you
yeah.
cannot. I do see, even I'm just going to be very vocal about it. I do see there are availabilities. It is not, we do have food pantries, anybody can go and get it, but I do see some people standing on the lights, like, and they are asking for money, that I am without job and all and all. So what are you going to be? Not like Bharat, to be very honest, but they can definitely go. There is no problem. Food, shelter, like, it is not an issue, because every city and the state, they do have a responsibility. We do have food pantries where the local community donates on a regular basis. If I'm living in Shamburg area, the local food pantry will post it, the need of the food pantry. They will not ask you, where are you from? They will not ask you, am I Indian? They will not ask me who I am, what is my legal status here. If I need something, that will be provided to me. Besides, they have it. Like, I'm talking about a food perspective. We do have shelters. Uh, Everybody knows that we are living in the windy city of the world. The weather gets very extreme, too cold. So some people, those who don't have, so they don't want them to sleep. So they do have shelters for them. They advertise that, like, do please come and sleep there, like, and sometimes when it is too hot, because we are not used to the temperature like India, we are just seeing even today's time 95-degree Fahrenheit, 100-degree Fahrenheit. When it goes beyond certain, so people cannot, because the body is not used to it. So there are air conditioned available, so that has been provided. Drinking water, we never had any problem. And I always say, a nation who can provide a drinking water from the tap is definitely a developed nation, to be very honest. And I just compare that political instability. instability you mentioned
Yeah.
about it. Definitely. Because see, this is I'm talking from the US perspective itself because I live here. But the global phenomena, yes, if the political instability is there, it does affect the development and the growth of the nation on regular basis, because the political party's main agenda becomes for their survival, not for the survival of the nation. That I
Yeah.
need, that is what I wanted to say.
So nice. Rakesh Tiwari ji, just must have seen the 17 goals of the
Yeah, yeah,
SDG
I do
from
have
your
it. I
Kannada
can read
side.
it for you.
So
I can read
so
it for you.
not human.
No, no,
Read for
I'm just saying
read for the
for the
Canada,
sake of
read
it.
for the
No,
world.
no,
So
for the
not for
sake
you.
of it, let me answer it. Because
Please.
you have raised the question. See,
Please.
Canada has I will say, is the goal is no poverty. So you will not even find, means there is no poverty movement here. Zero hunger, people do not get hungry. Good health and well-being, yes, it is there. Quality education is there. Gender equality is there. Clean water and sanitization is there. Affordable and clean energy is there. Decent work and economic growth is there. Industry innovation and infrastructure is there. Reduced inequalities is there. Sustainable cities and communities, that is also there. Climate action, we are working towards it. Okay, Kyoto Accord, Canada has signed it. Life below water, that is also good. A life on land is also good. Peace, justice, and a strong institution there, that is there. A partnership for the goals. Yes, I'm not saying 100% we have achieved. Canada has achieved everything, but yes, we are at the very peaceful way. We are there. We are at peace and we are making towards progress. That zero tolerance towards any inequalities and all those things. As per question goes about to as you mentioned about the instability, please, Ms. Vandanaji, with due respect to you, when we talk about and Kumar Akashi to you too, that midterm election is a reality in a democratic setup. And any government which is in the power, if it is a minority government, it has a right, it does that. Okay, you approve it, you don't approve it. In Bharat it happens so many times. Even in the states it happens. Everywhere in the world happen. In Britain it happens. It doesn't mean instability. No, let me complete. Let me complete this point.
Tiwari ji.
Let me complete this point,
No.
sir.
I'm trying to add something. I'm not going to
Okay.
cut
What
your
what you
statements.
want to add?
Actually, I'm going to add you. My question is how the political instability affect our development or not. Simple.
See, number one thing, Canada is a stable country with everything. We had a last minority government. We have again minority government. That's what it is. Nothing more than that. The another thing is that yes, if you talk about Afghanistan, if you talk about Pakistan, if you talk about that those countries where there war is there, while those things are happening, okay, the government is getting thrown off, military coup is happening. That is called instability. Definitely country like Canada is not stable. Please, educate yourself a bit on
Sir, I
democracy.
am talking about the political stability. You are giving the war stability in Afghanistan and blah, blah.
What is
Sir,
the political instability? No. I'm sorry. You're using totally wrong word. I
sir,
used the
if the
no wrong
government
word, sir.
changes, that does
Sir,
not
wrong
affect the
word.
development.
Political instability means what? Means there is no government here. Means this
No,
government is
no,
coming,
not at
that
all.
government
Not
is
at
going.
all. Not at
No,
all,
sir,
sir. Not at
sir.
all.
Wording is wrong. Phrasing is totally wrong.
Sir,
There is no political instability. We just had a minority government and the election came and we have again minority government. Italy is having every year minority government.
Sir,
Israel has it.
I'm taking
Britain
question
has it.
from your statement. I'm taking question from your statement.
Yes.
If this is again the liberal on in your
Okay.
country, one.
Okay.
If the conservative came, do you
Okay.
think the same policy will go on?
See, when the Trump was there, after Trump, Biden came. Not policy same will go. If after Modi, Congress will come. Do you think the same policy will go,
I'll
sir?
take the bandhana ji. I'll take the bandhana.
No. Please answer me. No. Don't run away. Don't run away. Please answer
No,
me.
I'm not
If
running.
after
Sir,
Modi,
no,
Congress,
you are,
no. Please answer me. If
Yeah.
after Modi, any another government comes in power in Bharat, do you think they are going to carry the same matter, same way as Modi was doing? Modi is doing? No, sir.
Sir, you are
Sir,
just,
you are wrong here.
you
You are wrong
no,
here. You know that.
you are supporting my question. What I'm going to ask you, you support it the other way. I think you try to
I
understand.
support you.
If the
Yes.
government changes,
Somebody is
policy
smiling.
changes.
Somebody is laughing.
Sir,
I like that.
no, no, sir, not laughing and smiling.
No, no, that's
I'm
okay.
asking
I'm
question.
watching the screen.
If
That please
sir,
continue.
my question is, if the
Yes.
government changes, policy changes. Policy changes,
Anita ji, if you're
development
not
affect.
speaking, just mute yourself, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Please.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, you are right.
No. Please repeat your question. This is very important. Please go
No,
ahead.
no, actually, now I'm repeating question again. In other way, I'll check the
Okay.
answer. Then I'll come to you. Vandanaji, if the government
You
changes
don't have an answer
policy,
from my. So you
no, sir.
accepted what I said, right?
No, sir.
What do you mean by
You
that?
accepted what I told you.
I'm
You,
not
you,
going
you,
to
you,
argue on
you,
that.
you can
So we
listen.
both
You can listen.
somewhere
Sir,
you keep
after the
I'm with your
program,
point. I'm with your point. That's fine.
after the program, you listen.
You have accepted, Rakesh ji. Please admit it. You have accepted.
We both
What
have
he was
accepted.
trying to say, you have accepted it with
No,
long
that's not true.
explanation.
No, we both have
And all the
accepted.
Nanapur you have accepted. Please admit it.
No,
Who
no.
is Rakesh
He
here?
came
We
on the
both know
same
Rakesh.
point. No, you're Tiwari ji ki baat. He is
No,
asking
she said
Tiwari ji.
Rakesh ji. So you
No.
accepted it. I'm Tiwari ji. That's fine.
Okay, no problem. So she was just addressing you because whatever you ultimately accepted.
Okay,
Now,
I'm
Vandana ji,
Rakesh.
I'm asking you, Vandana ji,
See, this
what
is
I
a
just asked the question. What I asked the question: if the government changes, policy changes. Policy changes automatically. Development affected.
But sir,
Number
that
one.
is the nature of democracy.
Sir, that's why I'm asking you. Then you denied the first.
Well,
It is not the nature of
argue with me, sir.
democracy.
I'm
Some
please
programs is
convince me.
carried forward for the sake of the development,
Say,
for the sake of
namaste.
public.
Yeah,
Please,
okay, let me
Vandana ji.
answer. Let me
Vandana,
answer.
Vandana ji.
Policies do change. Let's talk about this are big nations we are talking about.
Yeah.
And if you make, even in your home, you change head of the home,
Yeah.
their way of working will be different too, to be honest.
Absolutely.
But there are nations, those who have set policies like a foreign policy, like the means, and then policies do change time to time.
Yeah.
It should change
Yes.
because change is always good for, we
Better.
always know it's very
You're right.
progressive.
Yeah.
You should not be, because let's take the example of United States of America. Let's be very honest. Like we are just sitting right now. I'm sitting from when United States of America needed to, they were trying to counter Afghanistan. They were looking for a partnership. Everybody agrees to that. So they had partnership with Pakistan. But you know now what is the relationship between America and Pakistan.
No.
So that is an answer. Because it was the need at that very time. They wanted a ground. So they accepted it. But then they realized that the Pakistan is not delivering the way they were expecting it. I think it would have been much better for the nation like Pakistan to do it, the partnership with a due diligence, but they missed the boat. And now they are suffering. We all know that. And I am going to be sticking to that. The policies do change and it should change too, means like for the progress.
Yeah, Anita ji.
No argument on it.
When it comes to your question was does development affected by the instability of the government? If the government is changing government, may change the policy of development. Yes, I do believe, because we need a sustainable government, but it doesn't mean they behave like a patriarchy system like Gandhi family. So we need a stable and strong government to work for the development of the country, and to run the policy at some extent. We will talk about, because I am in India, so I will talk about India only. And I have some examples of America and Canada also, but I will not go in that. Uh, in UPA government, there was many policies on paper, but what happened on that time? All the policies were on paper only. When the government has changed, Modi has started working towards the development. But people were so eager and they were so in hurry that within 5 years they want that some kind of result. How can a government give any successful result within a 5 year? It's quite impossible. So you need to complete the project, and you need time for that. So I think for a certain time you need a government, and a sustainable government for a certain long period of time, but it should not be permanent behavior kind of that I am the boss of this country. It should not be happen. Change is good. As I agree with the Vandana ji, change is always good, and we should always change the flavor. Either it's our food or it's government, but we should also give some time to that government, either it's government or our food, to adapt it, to work towards the development, to spread the policy nationwide, to understand the world that how my country is growing under my regime. This is my take on it.
Okay, Tiwari.
Yes, sir.
Actually, how does the SDGs, United Nations, is you have said many times, United Nations need reforms. Our Prime Minister also last in the speech in United Nations, some restructure should be there in the United Nations. The structure of United Nations and the SDGs of United Nations. How you correlated with this? Correlate with this.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat again? I missed some points here.
The restructure of United Nations
Mm-hmm.
for the betterment,
Mm-hmm.
and as well as the SDGs of United Nations. How you correlated these two terms?
Well, let's put it this way: it's just nice, very nice. Looking when you hear it, when you watch on the website, seems very, very nice. But on the concrete ground, the world reality is very different. So
So this is only the slogan, not the
yeah.
reality.
It means they put it that. So
Yeah.
country like Canada, see, they have no real power to enforce the ideas. Okay, because the political reality means I do agree with you that the political instability, if in any country it happens, they cannot work like that. That is very much required, and even in Bharat too, it happens same thing. Means when you have the midterm after midterm after midterm minority government.
Sir, I that already question answer. Not going on that.
I'm not going. I'm giving my
You have
point.
already answered.
I'm
sir.
giving my
Yes, sir.
point, sir. Listen to me, because
Sir.
in the rest of the world,
Yeah.
when you go there, means a lot of countries, they are not flourishing the way they're supposed to. They are not able to focus on the United Nations these nice idealistic ideas, because they are not stable. Okay, that's very, very, very important. And as Vandana ji has mentioned, that is very important. That's given, and there's no argument, there's no point for me to enhance that more. But I like Anita ji's one point. She said change is good, and you mentioned it too. I mean, definitely 10 years is going to happen, but at the same time, would you like to say that in 2024 there should be a change in the central government and somebody else should come?
Sir, you are relating to another way. I'm talking about the SDG, talking going the political
What
way.
is this? Why are you diverting the topic? We don't want, the people of India, they don't want to change this government because they want development. They want their country should move on. They want that country
Anita ji,
should touch the sky. So they don't want change. When the people will want change, when the government will not do any work, it will happen.
Anita ji, don't need to respond that question. Whatever, actually, this is not related to our subject. So that's
She
my
has
last
mentioned it,
question.
that's why
Sir,
I
please,
got it.
Sir,
Yeah.
I can give you the thousands of example if you ask you a different program. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay.
This is the last question to Anita ji and Vandana ji, and this is a United Sustainable Development Goal. It is a reality or slogan? Very short question, short answer.
Yes, you did mention slogans do take place. Once there are slogans, then the slogans only become the reality. So it is not that you decide first that you want to do it. So you make a slogan. Then you have to work for it. Now is the need that it should be worked on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Anita ji, this United Nations SDG is a reality or only slogan?
United Nation is now a paper based policy maker. Whatever we are saying, either it's the policy on terrorism, security, or other things, you will get that all the policies are on paper only. And when it's come to that, it has failed. It has failed because the Asian zone, not the Western zone, not because of the Western
Okay,
zone.
okay,
So this is the role of the United Nations. We should need a drastic change in United Nations also.
okay. Tiwari ji, just short questions. What was it? United Nations SDG is a reality or the slogan only?
I agree with Anitaji fully on it. United Nations need drastic change. It needs to bring more power, like Bharat, like Brazil, like other countries which are big, okay, and they have a huge population. Bring them on board, give them the equivalent power, and Bharat is leading the way of world, okay, and not having that, and that's why United Nations is failing to its
Okay,
global
okay, okay,
responsibility. Thank
okay.
you.
Okay, so just as we discussed the United Nations SDGs, the slogan of reality, we are just find the reference of the so many countries. This is the only not going to be reality, but not slogan. But and India has taken the lead on the all SDGs. In spite of that, our Prime Minister has recently advocated for that need to changes, infrastructural changes in United Nations also. But system and development go both in the own way. Development is own definition, and the goal has the same definition like the development. We hope whatever United Nations adopted in 2015, the slogan which for the completing by 2030, that should be done accordingly as per the target of United Nations for the integrated development of the world, as well as the India, Canada, America, and any part of world, as we hope so. Thank you very much just to participate in the program, and just see, subscribe, and like, and share on our global governance news. And, and thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.